father of lies and the God of sound. Why? Sound belongs to God. What Lucifer did with it, what you were made of, and why this changes everything. Let's look at John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. We're getting ready to talk about it. This is part one, the lie that started everything. Did God really say in Genesis 3:1? So before we talk about sound, before we talk about frequency, before we talk about the body and water and healing, we need to go back to the beginning, not to creation, but to the moment after creation when the first lie was spoken. 4 words. Did God really say? That is the founding document of every deception that is followed in human history. Not a manifesto, not a philosophy, not a published book, but 4 words spoken to a person in a garden by a being who had already decided that the truth about God was an obstacle to his agenda. I want you to notice something about those 4 words. They did not deny God. They did not tell Eve that God did not exist. They did not argue against creation or against the covenant. They kept God in the conversation, and they simply introduced doubt into the reliability of his voice. They inserted a question mark between Eve and the word that she had received. And the moment that question mark entered the relationship between a human being and the word of God, the architecture of deception was in place. Every lie that is followed since, every corrupted institution, every exploited art form, every spiritual framework that promises elevation while producing bondage is a variation of that original 4-word template. Not a denial of God, a reframing of God. Not the removal of spiritual language, a redirection of spiritual language toward a different destination. Did God really say? Keep the form, change the content. Keep the spiritual vocabulary, change who it points to. Who is the source? So, I need to be really precise about something before we go further, because precision matters when you're teaching on a subject like this. The source of the agenda that we are going to discuss is not Alice Bailey. It is not Lucius Trust. It is not the United Nations. It is not the music industry or the pharmaceutical companies or the educational system. All of those are instruments. All of those are infrastructure. And all of those are branches of a tree that was planted long before any of them existed. Jesus named the source in John 8:44. He said to the religious leaders who were opposing him, "You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires." He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth, for there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language, for he is a liar and the father of lies. The father of lies, not the publisher of lies, not the promoter of lies, the originating author, the only one, the one from whom the lie originates. Lucifer is not responding to a script someone else wrote. He is the one who wrote it. Everything that follows, every institution, every movement, every cultural operation, we will discuss, because it is a branch of the original lie. Naming the branch without naming the root produces incomplete understanding. The root is the father of lies, and his strategy has never changed since Genesis chapter 3. The strategy's never changed, guys. In the garden, the strategy was not violence. It was not removal. It was reframing. The serpent did not take the fruit and force it into Eve's hand. He reframed what the fruit meant and reframed what God meant. He reframed what humanity was meant to be. And Eve reached for it herself. The most effective deception is always the one the person chooses freely because they genuinely believe it is true. Lucifer does not primarily use force, he primarily uses reframing. Take what God made and change what it means. Take what God designed and redirect it toward a different destination. Take the language of the covenant, light, spirit, healing, sound, wisdom, love, and keep the language while removing the God the language points to. The form remains, the content is replaced. Spiritual experience continues, but the covenant relationship is severed, broken. And this is what Isaiah saw in chapter 14. This is what Ezekiel described in chapter 28. The being who was in the presence of God, who was associated with music and beauty and light, who knew the frequency of heaven intimately, chose to redirect all of that toward himself rather than toward God. The first act of idolatry was not the worship of a foreign deity. It was a created being redirecting worship from the Creator himself. When he was removed from that position, he didn't stop. He turned his strategy toward the creature God loved most, the human being made in his image. And this began the longest sustained deception in the history of any world. The foundation is this: Lucifer is not a philosophy or an institution. He is the author of a single sustained lie that there is a path to life, wisdom, healing, divine connection that does not require the covenant God who created all of those things. Every cultural operation that we will discuss in this series is a branch of that lie. And understanding the root changes how you see every branch.